In this video, we're going to discuss the new stain features in the latest update from Memorial Designer version 1.375. The stains down here, we have stain 1 and stain 2, and they act similarly to the way that a granite fill works. They don't work the same way that the palette buttons work. So if we look at this document, we've got a few different things here. We've got this object, which is 30% gray, and we've got our panels, which are 10%. We've got our black, which is 100%. We've got our white, which is 100% white. The way that the stain feature works is anything that is completely black will turn into stain 1. Anything that's completely white will turn into stain 2. Right now we have them set for white and black, so if we were to fill something, it's not going to change the way that it looks because it's set for the same black or white. However, if we right-click on stain 1 and change it to gray, for instance, then we refill, it will change everything that was black to gray. If we go back to our grayscales, it's actually still black in the grayscale. So in order to get stain 1 to work, what you have to do is fill something in with black. If I wanted to just draw a rectangle here, fill it in with black, when we go to fill the granite fills, that black will become stain 1. So the same thing happens with anything that's completely white. If for stain 2 we right click and change it to gold leaf, for instance, then when we come up here and fill, anything that was white is now going to be gold leaf. If we go back to our grayscales, it's going to change it back to white and then black for everything else. So the way that it used to work is that you didn't have stain color, so you'd have to manually click on one of the palette colors in order to change it to something that wasn't black. If you had done that previously and changed something to black, when you now go and fill this in with a color, whatever percentage that was, if it's not 100% black, it's not going to change to the stain color. So if you want it to be that same stain color, what you have to do is change it first to black. So if we changed this to brown, for instance, it's not going to change unless we go and change it first to black, and then we can apply that brown stain fill. You don't have to click on the fill again. You can actually just click right on the button itself, and that will then refill it. So there are two different ways that you can apply the fill. You can either click on the button or you can click on the granite fill. If it's already been filled with a granite, you can just change the color to black, for instance, click on it again, and it'll change all of that text back to black. If we wanted to go to blue, for instance, you can do the same thing, just switch it to blue, and it would fill that in without having to change the granite color. Same thing applies for the white. If you want to change the white to gold leaf, go ahead and just change it and then click on it, and it'll change anything that's white to gold leaf. If we wanted to change it to back to white and refill, clicking on the granite color, it would then refill back to the blacks and the whites as soon as we click on the granite color. So going back to grayscale, however, is once again going to go back to black or back to white.